everybody and welcome back to Read by Ross, the show where I read a book, then I film myself giving a review on it, and then you go away and you give an opinion on it if you like it too. I really need to make an intro for this show. So as many of you probably already know, I've dropped the fact that I want to be a writer on the show, or I am a writer, more than once when I was talking about all the books that I review. And one of the best examples of this is because I want to share what it is that inspires me and show you the process of what a writer goes through when he thinks about the books that he's reading. And in that case, I feel as though I admit the kind of stories that I want to write are horror stories for children. I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up loving the books of R.L. Stine and watching those late night horror films that were on Front Row and Bravo when it was a TV channel. And, you know, I just want to write new horror stories for kids to have fun with, because horror stories for kids are so much fun. And if anybody ever grew up as a fan of R.L. Stine, they know how brilliant it is. And even though we don't really have so much horror stories now for kids, we have a sort of new resurgence of it. There's stuff coming out, and there's stuff coming out that's actually okay for the child horror market. And with that said, I'm going to give you a quick review of a book that I read recently that encapsulates what I want to do. And of course, I'm talking about this book called Monster Street, The Boy Who Cried Wolf by J.H. Reynolds. Now, The Boy Who Cried Wolf on Monster Street by J.H. Reynolds is about a young boy named Max who goes to live on a farm for a couple of days with his grandparents who he's never met before, and is, he's getting used to the area. He's starting to feel about it because he's a city boy, and he's brought to a new town to meet his grandparents and spend time with them, and he notices that there's strange things going on in the farm area that he lives in, and it could be attacked by a werewolf. Personally, this was a fun and engaging and exciting read for any young audience member, and I enjoyed reading it from the point of view of somebody bringing back that level of R.L. Stine suspense that, we're become accustomed to from original Goosebumps books. He ends every book with a cliffhanger. He has great chemistry and rapport with the characters that he's created, particularly with the character of Max and his new friend Jade, who are 12 years old and kids, and he gets that. He understands their dynamic across. There are some things in the book that I wasn't particularly fond of, mainly the references. This book decides to reference not only Monster Squad, but Stranger Things and what the character likes. And as much as that's like a homage to the things that what this guy's want to write books like in that scene revealed, trying to put their influences in there doesn't really... It just sort of detracts from the realism of the book, because it puts us too far involved with our reality, and it sort of dates the book at that point. Not to say that I hope this book gets dated by any means of the words, but at the same time, you're kind of like, you'd want to set it to its own reality, give it its own universe, give it its own, reality of what it wants, not really throwing in references that, people like us would understand. And it kind of, for me, there was sort of detracting elements to that made me go, I could have done without that reference personally. But other than that, there was a lot of nice fun twists and turns in this book. It has an unusual ending that I don't really want to spoil or give away, but I will say one thing, he starts out as a vegetarian and ends not being a vegetarian. And when you come across that in a book, you're kind of like, if a child chooses to be a vegetarian, then it's no problem. But like at the end of it, he's sort of happy knowing that he's not a vegetarian anymore. It just didn't add up. However, that's just me nitpicking the book here. I enjoyed the book for what it is, and it's a harmless horror story for kids. It's fun, it's got some cool, scary imagery that can play up in the mind, and who am I to comment on this book? R.L. Stine gave a lovely glowing review at the top of the book there, and if R.L. Stine likes it, the godfather behind children's horror, then who am I to judge? This guy is quite clearly on the right path, and I hope to write something on the same level of this. It's roughly 174 pages or 150 pages, which is good for children's horrors length, I think I've got his other book sitting there, which is called The Halloweeners, that I'll probably do another review on at some point soon. But yeah, this is a nice little horror story for kids. If you're keen on reading a werewolf horror story about a young boy living on a farm for like 3 days and being attacked by werewolves, check it out. This is the book for you. I can dig it, I think it's okay. Okay everybody, so that just about wraps up another episode of Read by Ross. Join me next time and I'll be reviewing another fantastic book for you. And who knows, maybe I'll have something interesting to say about, any new upcoming releases. And hey, it's my birthday soon. I might make a video of all the books that I got for my birthday, if I do get any books for my birthday. We'll wait and see what happens there. But until then, this has been Ross Hepburn. Thank you very much. Take care everybody. How can I not end these videos normally or start them normally? What the hell's wrong with me?